Do you think you've always known what you wanted to say with your music from the beginning?
Maybe not, but there's always been a hint of like wanting to get there. But now we know what we want to say. Yeah.
At what point did that realization kind of occur, and what kind of led to it?
I think maybe when I became like the singer like full time, and like start of 2019 sort of thing, possibly.
Can you recall as well the last time? What would you say was the last time that you stepped out of your comfort zone and felt you were fully in the deep end?
Last night.
The photo shoot?
Yeah, we were doing a photo shoot in Alexandra Park, like at night, and because of the 6 of us, and then the photographer, and then our friend who was helping, that's 8, so it's a gathering of over 6. So, like, there was like a helicopter circling for ages, and then when we were taking the last photos, there was like lights in like the distance, and like our pal was like, "There's lights over there." We were like, "Oh shit!" There's police. So we had a police chase last night. We ran away and we got away.
It was like the most exhilarating thing. I was like, oh my god.
We're fugitives now.
And I felt 16 again, like genuinely running away from the police in the park.
This EP as well that's coming out, when was that kind of constructed? What's the kind of time frame?
It was recorded in January, and like written in the sort of
Latter half of last year?
Not even. So
Cut Your Hair was like the end of 2018.
and then
Hey Boy was March last year.
yeah, and then And What You Want was June. Yeah.
July,
May,
I think.
Yeah, May or June, and then Heather was maybe June or July. So sort of written at maybe sort of the first half of last year and recorded at the first half of this year.
And at what point in that process would you say you felt most out of your comfort zone? At what point did you feel most?
Ooh. Well, maybe that's for you because you just joined the band.
Yeah, I guess I had a few instances. I guess, yeah, I guess my first show was a little bit out of my comfort zone, even though like it wasn't like there was so many people there or anything.
Yeah.
It was just like, I love Walt Disco. We were supporting HMLTD, who I was also a huge fan of, and I just kind of felt like, yeah, the pressure was on that one. But it was so much fun and felt amazing afterwards. Probably definitely the biggest step outside of my comfort zone was when we did the BBC session.
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy.
Was that right after recording?
Yeah.
So we were quite comfortable with the songs.
Yeah. It was just that was like the biggest production I've ever been a part of, and just knowing that like there was no room for error. There was
Definitely
people
the
listening.
most nervous I've probably ever been doing a band thing.
Yeah. But once it was actually going down and we were playing the songs, it felt awesome.
Yeah, it was really
So much
fun.
It was great.
Do you think that bled into the performance of all? That's like pressure you kind of...
Yeah,
Yeah, I
think so. Yeah, being live
Pretty
on air.
stompy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned like being a pretty, going for it, they're pretty stompy. That's something that is kind of across a lot of the songs recently. There is that kind of primal edge to them. There's a lot of chanting, a lot of shouting.
Yeah.
Do you think you're tapping into something primal sometimes when you're performing music?
Whoa. Well, music probably is primal, and like bass and like low frequencies definitely do primal things, and then the top line melodies definitely like are the part that invokes emotion. But I think I've always liked sort of choral and sort of chanty music, and because there's 6 of us to do it, it sounds good when we do it. So never thought of it as a primal thing.
Yeah. Feral.
It does get kind of feral. We just get called out.
I was recording that in the studio. When you're recording all those chants and shouts, how did you go about doing that?
It was just around like, was it 4 of us?
4 of us, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we do those not in Tam's studio, but the other?
No, we
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the other studio.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then Tam came running and started banging on the piano. He was like, shout!
Yeah.
Okay.
It was exactly how you'd expect Chance to go, like trying to go as crazy as possible whilst not making any other noise because you're being recorded and have headphones on, and if you like whip your head too much, the headphones will just fly off.
It's also pretty hard to be like animalistic if you're in a totally silent studio
Yeah.
on your own.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
made it
good
fun
though.
though.
It was
Yeah,
good, it was good.
That was a lot of fun.
When it comes to the theatricality of the performance sometimes as well, and your kind of stage presence, do you think is the desire to perform and the desire to make music, are they coming from different places or are they very much one thing?
I think the same. Yeah, same place. Yeah, I think we always think about the performance and like when we're writing a song, into how it would like translate to make people in the audience like feel, not like how we'd play it live or anything, but just how the emotion would come across.
Do you think you progressed more, or do you think the progression between is greater as songwriters or as performers? Where do you think you've kind of come farthest from the beginning?
I'd say songwriters probably. Yeah. I'm like loving the songs more and more as we write. The performance part is always developing, but we've always had a bit of that and always wanted to take it further. I think it's always easier when you believe in the songs to perform well.
Do you have any limitations when it comes to performance, or you just want to push it as far as you can?
Just how much space we might have.
Yeah, how much we're not the biggest band in the world yet, so or anywhere close, so we don't have big stages.
Yeah.
It was bad enough when it was just the 6 of us before, but now we've got lots of new toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
What would you say is the most liberated you've ever felt on stage?
Whoa.
I mean, Electric Ballroom was nice, but that's
Yeah.
because it wasn't as big stage.
Yeah, it was-
Yeah.
It's pretty freeing to be like, oh, I have all this space to myself.
I think Mash House was pretty liberating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was like.
Not very much
There was
real estate on stage.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah.
I feel like it was the most like into it crowd we've ever played.
Oh, yeah.
to.
Yeah. That was like top of the world. Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moment, yeah.
Is it reciprocal with the crowd? How does that kind of feed into your performance when the crowd is like that for you?
Yeah, it does. It makes you feel really good. Like, it makes you really good. I don't know how some artists, like when a crowd is going that mental, like remain like cool. Because I just smile like the whole time and just like get in the crowd straight away. Just feels so nice.
But it goes two ways. If you're going mad on stage, then the crowd
Yeah.
will too.
Yeah.
You know, you speak about the way it kind of feeds into it and the emotional release that comes from that. Is the catharsis you get when you're performing live and something like that's happening different to the satisfaction, the catharsis you get when you write a song that you feel you've really summed something up in?
Yeah, I think it's like more emotions, like all like at once, and because of when you're playing live, you've already got that tunnel vision, like of like being on stage.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like there's nothing else happening, like in the world. Like you don't have a thought about.
It's primal.
Yeah, it's prime. You don't think about like the wash that you forgot to take out of the tumble dryer or something. Like you might do when you're in the studio or whatever. Like because you're just a bit more aware of what's going on everyday life.
How do you decompress after that? Is it then difficult readjusting to normality?
I think after a tour, there's definitely a come down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even that little one we did, I was like, afterwards. Yeah, definitely.
Does that then feed into the music in any way? Can you use that for anything to fuel you in any way? Or?
Just make sure you're always doing things, and when you can't be on tour, like right now, like just make sure we're keeping busy. Like we're in the studio just now, like writing and recording. So just when you can't be out playing shows, just always doing other things to keep you interested and happy.
Has what motivates you to make music ever changed, or is that something that's very much a constant? And if so, what is it that you can feel is pushing you the most?
I think. What motivates me? Well, the message that we have, and then also, just always wanted to find out what another type of song we could write, another type of sound we could tap into. And like with this, like the stuff we're working on just now, everyone's learning new like instruments and new things. Like everyone's learning how to become a better singer. Like Finney's
I guess
learning piano. Like
Like a desire to see what you can do.
yeah, it's nice to be learning. Like now, none of us are in any sort of like education or higher or school or whatever to be learning lots of new things out of complete choice, like that will help further our career and stuff. Yeah.
I know that what you're kind of speaking about there, you've obviously like expressed like a desire to learn and that desire to get better and learn more things. I know you guys dropped out of uni. So where's that coming from? Why do you think it's different now that it's your choice? What changes it?
I feel like you need that risk to kind of push you to do it.
Yeah.
It helps.
For
sure.
If I kept on going to college, I feel like I could have just.
It was a bit different for you three because you did music at
Yeah,
college.
I did music,
Yeah.
but
But me and Dave didn't. And Lewis graduated. So yeah. So did I.
It's
Made it
I don't
through.
think it's something we think about a lot. The dropping it.
Yeah.
It's not.
yeah.
It doesn't really relate to anything
Yeah.
today. I wouldn't say.
Nah.
But
Just because they did study music affect your perception of it all? Did it change the way you looked at it in any way?
I really liked the courses that like I did, but I got to the point where it was just like I was too busy to put my heart into it. So
Yeah.
Same here.
It was very much the same for me. It was before I was in Walt, I was playing with my other band, and I kind of just realised that I was learning a lot of what I was getting taught just kind of on the job, I suppose, like actually
Yeah.
playing in the band. Like we'd spend an hour-long class learning how to sound check, when I've done rates and sound checks in like 5 minutes flat. It's not that
Yeah.
complicated, and just makes you take it way too seriously, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it's better, it's more exhilarating to teach yourself and learn from experiences that you go and chase for yourself.
Yeah.
You mentioned an element of risk there as well that came from that. What would you say is the biggest risk you've taken as a band?
taken quite a few. I mean,
We risked
I
arrest
think
last night.
probably
yeah,
signing up to do the number of shows we did last year. I think
yeah,
probably
with the
like
bank accounts that we have.
yeah, we weren't making any money on those shows, but I think it was so worth it. It was
Even
so important. But
Booking tours when we like didn't have a member.
Yeah. I'll just be like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good opportunity, so we had to like
Yeah.
wing a lineup together.
I think last year we took risks to keep the band going because we knew it was the right thing, and it just wasn't quite there, but we knew it could be. And then at the start of this year, everything fell into place. So all the right people were like to continue to write the music we want to, and so it was definitely a year of risk for like reward. Obviously, this year's been crap for everyone, but like we've still got high hopes for it, and it's not something we're gonna end in a year. It's gonna be for a long time yet. So
That sensation you mentioned there of everything that falling into place, how does that affect you creatively going forward when you're working on things?
it just means there's no stress. Like I think if someone had saw me at a point last year, they would have just been like, "You okay?" So just like when you don't have to think of like stress about boring or not fun things, you're just freed creatively to think about actually creative things.
Yeah. Now that we're solidified, we can kind of egg each other on
Yeah.
to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
It's just like focus. You're not like distracted by something else, like a deadline or
Yeah.
anything. You can actually just be like, oh, I need to actually like do
Yeah.
go write a song or like learn to play music or something, rather than being like, oh, this essay's due in 2 days, so I haven't got any time to do anything.
Yeah.
That's kind of echoed in the recent singles a little bit as well, because they're dealing in the same kind of big explosive emotions that you've always dealt with, but they're in a much kind of sharper, incisive way, and kind of shorter runtime and very focused. Are they coming from a different emotional place at all, do you think, to the previous singles, that were they kind of bigger?
Yeah, I think they're a bit more self-assured. And also we just like a under 3 minute pop song. Like,
It's the only way.
I think if you can write a good song in under 3 minutes and like you've still managed to get on a journey, then that's a good thing. And it means that you can experiment with the longer songs sort of after that, maybe.
That element as well of them feeling, you kind of feeling a little bit more self-assured with them. Would you say as songwriters now you're more fueled by self-doubt or conviction?
Say that again?
Would you say as songwriters now you're more fueled by self-doubt or conviction?
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, I'd say more conviction. And conviction in our own emotions and a conviction in our own identities. But definitely when you're writing songs when you're 18, 19, 22 now, there is a lot of self-doubt going on. Still is, but just like learned how to deal with it a bit better now.
Just kind of channel it a little bit more.
Yeah.
To round us up then, what would you say is the bravest you've ever been in your music?
Whoa.
Probably this EP.
Yeah, this EP.
So far.
Quiet sections going into glam riffs and, stuff like that. And
Massive guitar solo with
massive good.
Korean spoken word
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice note to end on. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
Very much.